Looks like I might be live.
Unauthorized character.
Yes, game. Unauthorized character.
We are live.
Alright, so, yeah.
AW.
Nice file name.
AEK.
Oh, that looks good.
Select arcade level.
So for this run, I'm going to use arcade difficulty of easy, just because it makes dying a lot less likely, particularly in an early shootout sequence that is extremely random.
Select puzzle
and
level.
Puzzle difficulty on 2, just
Welcome
because
to
why not?
Cyberia.
And start off the run, I'll the game tell its a little bit of the story.
Let me know when to begin timer.
Hey, Zach, how's the ride?
Sorry, time to
Sporty.
start.
How about telling me what's up? Always to the point.
Okay, well, I'll just start
All right,
it now.
here's the sitch. You'll rendezvous with the rig in about 10 minutes. Your contact is Santos. There's a TF-22 prepped and ready.
I've never flown a TF-22.
Not to worry, you won't be flying this one. The auto-nav is set to take you by optimum route to the Cyberia complex.
Trust is a wonderful thing.
I got you out of solitary, didn't I? Can't have you jetting around the globe instead of getting the job done, my man.
Just what is the job, Devlin?
Well, like I said, always to the point. All right, stand by. I'm going to shoot you some currents on the Cyberia project.
I still don't have top security clearance, but one of the science officers has started to tell me some things. They're making incredible advances in nanotechnology. I'm not sure if I managed to get the camera into one of the labs today, and then something very secret. All I could make out was a message about the project, learning to talk. The director went down to see for himself in his pajamas. He spent the next 2 days on the vid phone to Switzerland. It was getting really hot. I know the assistant suspects me, but I'm not worried much in today. Security very tight. One of the technicians was injured yesterday. Nobody will say hide copies of some internal email messages. Might be useful. I get workers fell ill. One died. They were constructing an isolation chamber on level 2. Message about the mission.
Also, just so you're aware, your mic is a bit low.
The day before. Don't let the team show up early.
Damn.
Hey, I knew that would grab your attention. So that's it. Infiltrate the complex and find the Cyberia weapon.
What do I do with it once I find it?
Well, I don't know. Keep it company. There's a cleanup team 24 hours behind you. All right, kid? Gotta run. Catch you later.
Alright, I try turning my gain up a bit, see if that makes a difference. I can also try talking a bit louder if I need to. Okay, so we're at the beginning of the game and I haven't died yet. So let's do something about that.
Report to my office immediately. Take the door on the right and don't wander around.
Don't wander around, but I like wandering around. What's in this barrel? That's weird. Oh. Well, that's no good. Alright, not going to the barrel again.
This is Santos. Report to my office immediately. Take the door on the right and don't wander around.
You know what? He's telling me not to wander around, but I still feel like exploring. Idiot. You know what? I'm gonna make him slip again. One sec. I turn the gain back down just a little bit.
This is
Okay.
Santos. Report to my office.
That's 2 deaths out of the way.
Take the door on the right and don't wander around.
And you know, every time he tells me not to look around, just take the door on the right, but that's no fun. I want to check out the hangar. Hello? Well, that's not nice.
This is Santos. Report to my office immediately. Take the door on the right and don't wander around.
Okay, fine. I'll take the door on the right.
Turn around nice.
Aww.
Turn around nice and slow and disarm the
So here I
weapon.
meet the first NPC. It's Gia. She takes away my weapon. I can no longer attack
Is this how you
things.
greet all your new arrivals?
Not that I could
Only if they
actually
have a
attack anything
Quit screwing
outside
around and
of
bring him to my
the
office.
very specific
Come on. I'll
contextual
take
parts
you
of
to
the game where it
Santos.
lets me attack things.
We're under attack. Come on, follow me.
Alright, so now the station's under attack, and this is the first shooting sequence I had mentioned earlier. That's the reason that this game is run on the easiest arcade difficulty. Because in this section, how many enemies spawn at once, where they spawn, and when they spawn is all entirely random. So I could get 30 seconds of absolutely nothing, like I'm getting right now, or I could get like 9 things all at once and just instantly die. But playing on this difficulty makes it very unlikely that I will just randomly instantly die. But this sequence is on a timer. It's just a survival thing. So if we do have any new donations, this would be a really good time for them.
So we have $6 from I Am Creaser that says, you call that a nice even number? This is a nice even number. That was actually referring to Carver Rausku's $6 donation from earlier that said, so as no one else wanted to break that nice even number, I guess I'll have to. So we have a little bit of a number game going on in the donations, so.
Alright, now since I usually have only run this game in marathons that aren't raising money for anything, I don't really get much of an opportunity to try something like this, but since this one is, I figured I'd focus on not dying for a second. I figured I'll put up like, let's say like $5 for every unintentional death in the run, and hopefully not regret this. And see if anybody will match me on that.
Magnetic mine. Nice kill. Watch it, magnetic mine.
And I'm sure you can tell the hit detection in this game is not the greatest. And it doesn't help that this particular shooting sequence, I can't use my mouse, I have to use the D-pad to aim. Which is a little bit awkward.
Watch it.
That's right, D-pad arrow keys.
Good shot.
I can only imagine what it was like playing the PlayStation 1 version of this game on a D-pad.
Look out.
So I'm trying to tell where these enemies are coming from by using that orange radar in the bottom left. It's not the most accurate, so it can be kind of hard to tell where they're coming from because it doesn't give me any good indication of how high up they spawned. About the only really good cue is that when it's a light gray dot, it means it's a mine in the water.
Good shot. Watch it, magnetic mine.
That was a convenient spawn. Yeah, this part doesn't go on too much longer. We're almost at the end of it. Looks like I'm still about full health.
Watch it, magnetic mine.
Should I... Well, the green bar, so the little screen in the middle is showing my health, shields, and ammo.
Was amazing.
Right.
Kiss me.
So there's actually 2 options right here. You can kiss Gia, which we need to do for this category because there's a way to die that you can only get to by taking that option. But then we're actually going to come back and then not kiss Gia.
Get him. Right, boss.
because not kissing her is makes it a lot easier to get to the end of this area, because I don't have to deal with guards every
Search the
corner.
hovercraft and see what you can find. Ah, you're awake. No use struggling. You're not going anywhere. Now maybe we can talk about why we were attacked.
So basically I'm just mashing keys right here, like I'm trying to escape from the handcuffs. That makes him shock me twice and I die. Just like that. So I come here. No,
I don't think
no,
so.
I'm not kissing you, Gia. Not doing it. Now this guy's okay with me.
All right, we're getting out of here. Take the lift to the hangar and prepare to take off immediately.
As far as I know, the PS1 version is pretty much the same thing as the PC version, just the PC version has better controls because it has the option for mouse controls and some certain shooting sequences coming up in a little bit, which I imagine makes them a lot easier. Alright, but now I am actually supposed to go to the hangar, so we get to go through here again. So this time when I come up here, the guard is still here, but this time he doesn't just shoot me in the face.
Come on, let's go.
Now he's my friend. Alright, here's the plane we came to the soil rig to take. And even though they are now my friends, they still left a bomb on this plane because they don't want me to take it for whatever reason. So this is the wrong button. Alright. Now we get to one of my favorite deaths in the run. I just get to explore over here and oh god. He just hits every single thing on the way down. Anyway, now I have to disarm this bomb. So, I need to press that button, and that button, and that button, and it's disarmed. And now we can leave. And now I get another nice little cutscene.
Still alive?
Just how hot is this thing?
The cartel wants it pretty bad. They know we have the Cyberia files, but I thought that if I sent you in alone, we could avoid all of this crap.
Yeah? Well, it looks like they're laying out the welcome mat.
Indeed. Tech scan shows a lot of cartel activity on your route to the complex. Your onboard fire control system should be able to handle it.
Machine faith, Devlin?
Trust is a wonderful thing, remember?
Right.
Okay, so now we've got an on-rail section. There's really, well, there's a whole bunch of on-rail sections. There's really nothing I can do to speed them up other than just not die. There's a few things I should talk about during this first part. Like, now I can use the mouse to aim, and that makes this so much better than using the D-pad. And one thing to mention in sections like this that makes them a little bit nerve-wracking in runs is that, like in this section in particular, there's one enemy. It's the very last one. If I don't kill that, I just automatically die, because that just counts as failing this mission. So I have to kill that enemy or else. But since there's not much to talk about in these auto-scrollers, I have a bit of pre-prepared audio that's from this game's manual, some nice backstory to help keep things entertaining throughout. So I'll start that up and I'll Be back once that's done in just a little bit. May 17th, 2027. Start from the beginning. That's the hard way. It's always easier to start from the end and back up. Retreat. That's the easy way. But I don't do things the easy way, so I won't tell the story the easy way. The beginning was about 2010, maybe earlier, I don't remember. I was born, and some people say they remember being born, but I don't. I was brought up, and I should remember more of that than I do now, never mind why. Maybe I could explain, maybe later I will. There were apartments, schools, houses, people who called themselves aunts and uncles, people who didn't. There were people who might have been a family. They're the hardest to remember. Some years back, couldn't be too many. How old am I, after all? I'm probably still a teenager, what they said in the old video cassettes. Anyway, my memory starts to burn about then, scooting through dark alleys into abandoned basements. I can remember from then on. Probably be better if I remembered the first part, forgot the later years. Not my choice, though. None of it is anything anyone would be glad to remember. I've done old video cassettes, even seen some library books. I'd be very glad for some of those memories. The lemonade under the shade trees, the ruby sunsets. So glad to see red in the west like rubies and not like blood. Nothing's glad anymore. But I need to get back to my story. We were in the basements, crawling the wires, grabbing tubes and boxes, hooking wires to boards, boards to wires, things to things. Some of us knew some things, others knew other things. Grab a bill of lading from Taipei to San Francisco. Grab a purchase order from Houston to San Francisco. Land out with a wild shipment to our neighborhood. I got my blades that way. Grabbing things and landing them out. Grabbing the third world and the first world. What were we? Maybe the sixth world? It worked for us. We were glad. Worlds 1 through 5 or however many hadn't worked out for us. We hadn't worked out for them. Finally we had a world that worked. World 6 worked for years. Maybe 3, 4. We got what we wanted. Got most of what we needed. Didn't hurt anybody who couldn't take the hurt easy. We were sitting on top of the world, like the old songs say. Strange you think about it. I don't remember anybody else doing old songs, library books, only me. Of course, Caro did wall hanging things, like frozen videos, called them oil paintings. You couldn't see any oil in them, so maybe that was like me in the songs and the books. Then there was Arla. She did old music that didn't have songs in it. Zach, she said, you don't always have to sing along. You can let it go by itself. And we were all sitting on top of the world. Except we weren't on the top. We were on the bottom, in the abandoned basements with the junction boxes, and we were shiny and glad. But the other worlds were big and mean, and the glad didn't last. I miss Arla. I hope she wasn't wrong. I guess I'll never know. May 18th, 2027. I looked over the words I cut last night, and I said, Zach, you're not blindingly cohesive. Not hard to understand. 2 days in the Pentagon, nothing to grab. Wake up, eat, walk the corridors clockwise, eat, sleep, or don't. Well, you can't sleep, there's the net to cut words into. First night, I wanted to break the net box. I wanted to break it all, but cooler heads prevailed. Cooler heads prevailed. Where did I hear that? Some 20th century video cassette, probably. There weren't any heads but my own, and that one wasn't so cool. But I must have had enough sense not to break the place I was going to spend the rest of my life. My life. I cut the words last night, and they're cut and burned. I can't get them back. So I'm cutting words for the ages, or at least for the FWA, the Free World Alliance, a name that might be made more accurate. I'll try to make what I say understandable to young and old. Young and old. Where did that come from? Burt Lancaster and Gina Lola? Are there any circuses anymore? Not in the corridors of the Pentagon. But I'm cutting words. They used to call it writing for the ages. Maybe just for William Devlin. Mr. Devlin, sir. But I pretend the words will last. The story goes pervasive. Century 21 meets Winnie the Pooh. Not Mr. Toad, of course. Mr. Devlin, perish forbid. Oh no. Zack, your tame six-worlder is completely, absolutely, indubitably under your control. Nothing will break. Everything will be glad again. You know none of this can leak back to the sixth world. Maybe seventh by now. Or you wouldn't let me cut the words. They're for the ages. May 19th, 2027. Woke up early this morning. Signed on. Looked at the words I cut last night and the night before. What's happening to me? Try cutting some words before breakfast. Might have a half an hour. My theory. I feel fine. Never better. No problem's there. I could do push-ups with my left hand while I'm cutting words with my right. Not likely for a net felon locked in the Pentagon to feel so good. I think bizarro. I'm okay now, but the words I cut the last 2 nights were clearly not cool-headed, not clear-headed. Conclusion. Dope. Kindly Mr. Devlin and the FWA are building my body and breaking my brain. Steroids, hallucinogenics, wish I knew. Old Caro could tell. Caro. Caro would have the sense to say, Zack, you cut your nice theory flat into the net. For half an hour, you couldn't unhook your fingers from the part of your brain you found in the morning light. Right, Caro. You're right. Erase today. Breakfast's coming. May 20th, 2027. Nothing tonight, or last night. Waiting for more cooler heads to show up. Then maybe we can all prevail. Like a tree that stands before the water. Where's Caro? Where's Arla? Daddy said a friend's better than a password. Hard to believe Daddy was right, even one time. But he held some good songs on those big black vinyl discs. Stone Cold Dead in the Market. Daddy hit the streets, the market, the bricks, the riot cops. I hit the tunnels, the basements, the cables. Daddy, I still hold the songs. Delia's gone. One more round. Arlo's gone. It's dope, yeah. It must be dope. But I miss the people. I miss Daddy. He's dead. I miss Caro and Arla. They're probably dead too, but that won't keep me from missing them. And I miss my blades. Maybe more than the people. And that's a bizarro thought. But I miss my blades. May 24th, 2027. Sitting down here in Pentagon Farm. No cooler heads here yet. Getting ready to break things here, boss. Only glad thing is I can still cut words. No, they can't take that away from me. But they could. I don't know why they don't. What does Mr. Devlin have me fear for? What do they want me to do? You got me doing what you wanna, baby. Baby, what you want me to do. And now, a word from our sponsor. Welcome aboard! If this is your first trip aboard the FWA DLM Model TF-22, please take the time to read this card and make yourself familiar with the craft. If not, please refresh your memory. After all, very few people make a trip like this every day. Before reading further, your seat harness and protective helmet should be in place and secure. The TF-22 craft is the pinnacle of FWA tactical air power. She clears the sky and gets where she needs to go. As a valued passenger, your destination is her destination. The TF-22 is fully cyber-driven, from takeoff to landing, through climate control and cabin lighting to food service and beverage delivery. Every detail has been foreseen by top FWA aero experts. On normal cargo missions, the TF-22 has achieved an exceptional 92% success rate over the past 3 years. Even more effort is expended on passenger missions such as yours. Arrival at your destination may require military activity. Please remain seated until the marked exit doors open. Please examine the diagrams to ascertain your position relative to the features of the craft. Further information, advice, and instructions will appear on your seat screen or blades if you are so equipped when the flight plan is established and the trip is underway. Sit back, relax, and have a pleasant trip. From the Washington Post-American, 21st of August 2018, The Strange Story of Blades. The bioptic, low-amplitude displayed energy system device, one of the first successful nanotechnological applications, is something to wonder at and something to wonder about. Blades look like warp-around sunglasses, and for most people, that's all they would be. Not the first step into an unimaginable future, but just a high-tech set of sunglasses, sturdy enough to protect against an errant elbow. Remember Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's goggles? For some people, wearing a high-tech look-at-me pair of armored sunshades is worth several $1,000s. For most of us, we'll settle for over-the-counter, non-prescription shades from the local discount mart and wonder how Blade.co stays in business. Just barely. Blade.co, the pioneer of commercial nanotechnology, bet its fortune, the capital of its closely held stockholders, on Blades. Nobody is working on Blades 2, the remaining employees are busy on the next product, and the powers that be at Blade.co won't talk about the new project. One of those powers, however, told your Post-American reporter about Blades. He was wearing his own blades, and I could tell that they did more than keep the glare out of his eyes. Blades were the first nanotech product on the market. What went wrong? Nothing went wrong. Would you care to rephrase your question? Were Blades the success you had hoped for? How many new companies have ever had the success they hoped for? You could probably name 2. If you're smarter than you look, you might name 5. Blade.co is making it. We're still successful, and we have great hopes for the future. Which we can't talk about now, of course. We're still interested in blades. What can you see through them? More than most people, I admit. Our test audience was skewed. We're going to do better. But everybody in-house could use the blades, some of us very well, and we frankly disregarded the possibility that the mass of humanity would see blades as no more than decoration or sunscreen. Tell me more about what you can use blades for. Infrared, of course. Anyone who can push a button and turn on a dial can see in the dark. It's just sunglasses turned upside down or backwards, you understand. It turns the dark to light, and the light to dark. It takes some getting used to, but anyone can do it. And there's communication. The blades can receive transmissions, like a fax or modem. What else? Well, now we start getting into the nanotech features. You can flip the blades into bioscan mode, which detects living organisms. I can anyway, but probably you can't, unless you're a blades user. Are you? No. Well, that's the thing. It takes time and practice to get used to the blades, and it takes the blades time to get used to you. Most people don't have the patience, and a lot of people just don't have the talent. It's kind of like a K-9 officer and a dog learning to work together. Blades can sniff out drugs? Maybe. That brings us to the final mode of the blades, the info scan mode. It doesn't work at all for many people, for many more than we expected. For the people it does work for, it's always different. Some can ID chairs, doorknobs, things they wouldn't need blades for. Others, the ones with the talent and dedication, can ID every part of a complicated machine, or, as you say, get a chemical analysis of a medicine cabinet, once they and their blades have learned to work together. And this is the story of blades. Designed to be an indispensable part of mankind's everyday existence, blades turned out to have a market of only the very few with the talent, skill, and dedication to make them work. After all, how many people are K9 officers? Okay.
We've been monitoring your progress. Pretty impressive, Zach. Sorry about the weapons glitch.
Target practice.
Yeah. Here's the sitch. Recon shows that cartel forces haven't been able to penetrate to the Cyberia weapons level yet. In fact, it appears from some of the transmissions we've intercepted that they've lost quite a few of their operatives.
Lost? How?
That's not clear, but it looks like there's some kind of infection or contamination in the complex.
Great.
Make sure you've got protection.
I'm going to kill that bastard.
Alright, so I saw somebody had asked during that pre-recorded bit if the auto-scroller sections were exempt from the whole all unique deaths thing, and the answer is kind of yes and no. There just are no unique death animations in the auto-scrollers, so anytime you die in one of those, it just puts flames on the screen and then gives you a game over screen, and that's it. So we don't really count that as a unique death animation. I mean, it pretty much just looks like when the oil rig explodes earlier on. But right now I've just got a bit of walking around to do, just a bit of back and forth, get a couple of checkpoints, so if we got any more donations, that would be a pretty good time for them.
We do. We have $20 from Anonymous that says, love the awful 90s adventure games like Cyberia.
I mean, what's awful about it? This is the pinnacle of gaming right here. Alright, so I just get a walk over this way. I went to the left first, got a checkpoint over there, then I'm going to go back to in just a little bit. But first I need to come over here and get a checkpoint that's in this tunnel. And please ignore the ominous noise, it means nothing.
Whoa, slice-o-matic.
And what I'm going to do with this slice-o-matic right now is nothing. I'm going to leave. So just going to go out here, walking around outside for a little bit again. And that's why. Because you need to spend a certain amount of time walking around outside to get this animation of freezing to death. So now that I've done that, now I'm going to do something with the slice-o-matic. By something, I mean I'm going to jump through it without dying. And I'm going to walk into this room. And this is an interesting room because it has absolutely no purpose, but it also has a weird noise that will kill me if I stand in here for too long. And there it is. So that was the room of random noise death. Alright. Into the slice-o-matic one last time. There it is. Alright, now I'll go back to this checkpoint that I grabbed earlier. And now we get the first possibility for unintentional deaths, because I have not unintentionally died yet. Now this is on a perfectly repeating pattern, but it's a very small window. Okay, no unintentional deaths there, so that's good. Alright, so now I have reached the Cyberia complex. Now I need to get inside. So first thing, we've got a door with a keypad. So, that's the wrong button. Just a flawless security system right there. You can't beat that. Alright, so now I do actually need to get Alright, there's one unintentional death. We're up to 1. Okay, now we're inside. So now I'm going to run over here, and we get another keypad for this security door. And that door has no chill. Alright, so unfortunately we don't get a better checkpoint than this, so I have to do this again. Alright, back to this keypad. Lucky me, I know the code. It's not quite 69, but it'll do. So now I'm inside. Alright, let's get going. Make our way down this hallway fast as we can. We're in there, right around this corner, and no! I have no idea why that death is in slow motion, but it is. But we get a better checkpoint. And now I have to go into this room and kill 4 guards, and this is the second place where we might get a lot of unintentional deaths, because it's extremely random. Alright, that's a good start to it. I need these guys to give me a nice pattern so that I can get out of cover and aim at the left guy. Ah, shot quick. 2 unintentional deaths. Alright, it's a good start again. Of course the guy on the right got up first. 3 unintentional deaths. So the order that these guys stand up and shoot is completely random, and if the wrong one goes first, you're just kind of screwed. Especially since your animation of getting back behind cover is so slow that if the wrong one gets up, you probably can't get back in cover in time to survive it. What I really want is for these 2 guys to stand up and shoot at the same time. And that was, again, like the worst possible thing they could have done. 4 deaths. Oh, I almost had that. That would have been really good. Up to 5. And this is why I don't try to PB in this run. Because you get this far in, you know, like 35, roughly 35 minutes into the run, and this is where it can just die. Come on. So what I really need is both of them to shoot at once, and then the left guy to get up first. And they do not like me right now. They know that my timer is running. Okay, and we're out of that room. Alright, don't have to deal with that anymore. So that's, what, 5 deaths? I think that's 5 deaths. Now I have to run all the way down here. nobody's gonna bother me for a while. Oh, just need to make my way through here. And this next guard is going to see me through a wall, because they're really good like that.
Also be related to the weapon's newfound sentience.
Alright, so this time I'm not going to die here.
Related to the weapon's newfound sentience. In conclusion, it would appear that at this stage of research, the potential of the Cyberia weapon is virtually limitless. However, the fundamental lack of boundaries this potential brings makes this project extremely difficult to control. But even if we can't find a way to control and harness this entity, then surely the spin-off technologies from our research will have justified the time and costs required for this project. Thank you.
Arnold, get a progress report.
Right.
Alright, so now I need to kill this guy. Ah. So that's a really unfortunate death, because I have to watch the cutscene again before I can try to kill him. He was being sneaky.
Related to the weapon's newfound sentience. In conclusion, it would appear that at this stage of research, the potential of the Cyberia weapon is virtually limitless. However, the fundamental lack of boundaries this potential brings makes this project extremely difficult to control. But even if we can't find a way to control and harness this entity, then surely the spin-off technologies from our research will have justified the time and costs required for this project. Thank you.
Arnold, get a progress report.
Alright. Second try. And we got him. Alright. Why does this guy not wear pants? Oh, he's wearing some kind of full body suit that is very unfortunately skin colored. I don't know why. I don't know who thought that was a good idea when they were making this game. But that's what he's got. Alright, so now I need to come into this room, and I need to use a computer, which I need to know the password for, which, good news for me, I do know the password for it. Hacking skills put to good use. And we're in. Alright, now that I'm into this computer, I'm going to leave, because that's all I need to do. Normally you're supposed to go through that computer's files to find a code for this elevator out here, but if you happen to know the code for that elevator, then activating the computer is all you actually need to do here. So, oh no, guy with a grenade, run! Ah, didn't get away. Luckily, there's a checkpoint right there. And unfortunately, this is an extremely tight timing to actually kill this guard before he drops the grenade. And sometimes trying to walk away from the computer puts you back in the computer. Up to 7 deaths now, by the way. Alright. So, to sum up, came all the way down here to activate that computer, to get the code, to seal that elevator, in order to kill that one guard. Because the next area I need to go to, I can't access until that guard is dead. As if that guard isn't dead, he will be waiting for me in the next area and just immediately shoot me in the face. And that's bad. So basically everything that I've done since getting inside the Cyberia complex is killing guards in order to get to the other floor of the Cyberia complex. That's pretty much it. Otherwise we've accomplished absolutely nothing here. At least as far as the story of the game is concerned. So now I need to backtrack a little bit. To right about here. I'm gonna go this way. now, I am actually right next to the room of random noise death from earlier, because this is the other entrance to the facility. And, you know, you just push this box because it's totally obvious within the game's design that you should be able to push that box and then interact with the wall to open this door, and then take the world's safest elevator. Alright, we made it down the elevator. And I look through here, I don't see a guard. Means we took care of all of them upstairs, not coming here. And I'm just gonna walk casually right through the middle of this room. What could possibly go wrong? I suppose that could go wrong. Alright, so that was the last intentional death for a little while. Yeah, I got a little bit of time before there's another one, so get to sneak through this room now. This is the stealth section. Alright, we made it through the stealth section. Awesome stealth. And now I need to deal with this guard.
Any word on the explosion?
Yeah, beautiful, huh?
Who the hell?
Okay. That guy can get tricky sometimes and kill you. Alright, now I'm coming up to the last RNG in the run. There's another room with a shootout with a couple of guards. And like the first one, which one of them stands up and when, and how many times they shoot while they're standing is completely random. It's technically possible that one of them will just stand there and shoot forever. Come on, guys. Need both of you to duck behind the crates. Hey, no. No. There you go. Oh, come on. No. No, get behind the crate. You can do it. You can do it. Get behind the crates. And they're ducking my shots too, which is just incredible. Come on. Come on. Did I mention there are really good reasons why I don't try to PB in this game, like, ever? 'Cause this is one of them. Hey, we got one. Second one's a lot easier. Alright. So, now that I've killed them, I get to backtrack a little bit. So, there's a couple of different ways I could do this area. I choose to deal with those guards first because it's better than going and doing the other running around first and then having the random bit where I could potentially die. It's not a significant difference in time going to the guards first rather than going over here first, but I like to deal with the guards first, just so that they're out of the way. So, I have to come over here to this computer. I'm going to use this thing, open the vent, and leave. Because near the door where I had that shootout just now, there's another door that I need a keycard to open. So, what I'm doing right now is going to get that keycard. So, in order to do that, I need to open up those vents. And then I need to go back to the super safe elevator room. And then I'm going to knock over this fence, because obviously I can just knock over this fence. I mean, how could you possibly not know that you could knock over that fence? It's fantastic game design. Then you walk down this hallway for a little while. And get over here to this little window. And there's the keycard.
Gotcha.
Alright, so we got the keycard. I just need to backtrack a little bit again. So this would be a good time for donations if we got any more.
We actually don't have any more donations at this time.
Alright. So I'll just say again, I am still planning on doing $5 for every unintentional death, which looks like is going to be 7 so far. Not too bad. But yeah, I encourage anybody out there who's interested in matching me on that. It's a good deal. It's only $35 this time. Alright, so here's the door where I needed the keycard.
Access approved.
So, this is a nice important room. I should probably use that computer, but I'm not going to. I want to explore first. Computer seems important. I'm gonna go look around a bit. Yeah, there's those guards I dealt with. They're still dead. I have to go in here. Yeah, this is a different looking room.
Interlock opened.
Yeah, just gonna wander around. Doesn't look like there's too many ways I can go. Just gonna wander in here.
Contaminated area. Viral infection hazard.
Yeah, who's worried about a viral infection? I mean, there's only one dead body on the ground. How bad can it be? Let's go in here. Yeah, what's over this way? Oh my. Alright. Should probably do something about that viral infection, huh? Alright, so now we're back at this computer. I'm going to actually do the thing. This is another little shooting sequence. I have to shoot as many of the little orange blobs as I can, because those are the viral infection. And on this arcade difficulty, I believe it's like 50% minimum that I have to have at the end in order to successfully immunize myself from the viral infection. So you can see the percentage counter in the top left, kind of keeping track of that. But, with keyboard and mouse, or actually just being able to use mouse for this section, it's not difficult at all. And the game tries to get sneaky, hide the orange blobs behind things, and it has other things that look like orange blobs, but that aren't actually orange blobs. Alright, almost done. Just a few more to go. Yeah, 92%. That's good enough. so now I get to go back in this way. Only this time I'm not going to die. At least, not right away. Still have several more deaths left in the run.
Interlock opened. Interlock closed.
Alright, so now I just need to come in here.
Warning, entering
Next room.
area. Viral infection hazard.
Alright, so now need to go over here and see the hacking skills in action. I had to pick number 6 because that's the sample that I cured. Really complicated stuff, and now I'm immune to the virus, just like that. That's how viruses work, right? Yeah, now I get to go in here. Yay, I didn't die. So, let's keep right on moving through the story. Oh god. Well, that's no good. Alright, so I'm not gonna go through the door this time. I'm gonna go over here. And now we get to the Charlie sequence. Called that because the little drone that I'm going to be flying around is called the Charlie. It stands for something, I don't remember what. But this sequence is kind of interesting. It's one of the more difficult shooting sequences because you can see this bar along the bottom. That is the total power that this drone has available to it. It drains over time as the drone flies. It also drains if I'm shooting or if I'm using my special AoE attack. So if that runs out, I die. I also cannot miss any of these things at all, because if I miss even a single one of them, this happens. Alright. Let's try that again. Let's get in the Charlie sequence here, and just hit some buttons, and oh god, I shot off my foot! Okay, not gonna play around with the buttons this time. Learn my lesson. Just let the Charlie do its thing. Okay, so this time I am actually going to at least attempt to survive the Charlie sequence. I just have to focus a little bit. Try to be accurate with my shots as much as possible without wasting too much power along the way. For the most part, you've got quite a bit of breathing room on it as long as you're not just spraying everywhere. My shots are pretty good right now. Oop, I almost missed one. The ship does have that special AoE attack so that if one of them does get past you, you can just kind of do a small, like, little area nuke. It drains quite a bit of your power every time you use one, but it's basically the panic button. I try to avoid it, but if I have to use it, I have to use it. It shouldn't be a problem. I usually get to the end of this with, I think, more than half of my power left. And it does help actually remembering where most of these things spawn, because I don't have to rely entirely on reaction time like most people would playing this game casually. Like, and even still, some of them are on the screen and then gone so fast that you can't even aim at them. It's just a really obnoxious section. We are getting pretty close to the end of the game. There's not too much left. There's actually only one more intentional death left in the run. It's a good one, though. last fast section. Really? The area nuke didn't hit that one. That's fantastic. Alright, we're up to 8. And some people have commented on like YouTube videos of this run, like why the run isn't on the hardest difficulty. Like on sections like this, there's not even a difference between the easiest and the hardest difficulty. You have to kill every single one of these, or else you die. So even on the hardest difficulty, this is exactly the same. Like there's no difference between it at all. Like the only part of the game where being on the hardest difficulty would actually make a difference is the very first turret sequence near the beginning. Because if you get a whole lot of things spawning at once, you just die. But parts like this, there's no actual difference. Alright, I'm not even taking any chances with the quick ones. Just nuking them. Yeah, I can only imagine getting through this section on PlayStation 1 with a D-pad instead of a mouse. A lot of respect for anybody that's actually managed to do it. I know I'm never going to try it. The worst part about that last death is it was so close to the end. Like here we are. Here's the end of this auto-scroller right here. It was like one of the worst places I could have possibly died in this. Alright, that is the end of the Charlie sequence. And now, I can go through this door without immediately dying. Alright, so then we got this puzzle here. Last door puzzle in the game. And I actually get to use those blades that we heard so much about to do an MRI scan to see what's going on behind this wall. This is the only point in the run where I actually use the blades. Now I need to get these things all to line up at once. Be close. Hey, we got it. And now we get another little cutscene.
What the hell is this thing?
What is your form?
You speak?
Self-unit communicates, speaks with form. What is your form?
My form is human.
Yes, human. But what is form identification?
Oh, my name. I am am Zach. Who are you?
Self-Unit Scientists Project.
That's a hell of a name. Can you see me? Visual?
Self-Unit sees Zach Body. Zach Body sees Self-Unit.
Zach, you there?
Yeah, I read you.
You made it, eh? I knew you were the right man for the job.
Devlin, this weapon, it's unbelievable. It's sentient.
Really? It's too bad, then.
What?
But it's only going to be sentient for about another minute.
What are you talking about?
You got it backwards, Zach. That thing isn't the weapon. You are.
Detect radio activation. Micronic thermonuclear device in Zach Body. Device detonation threshold in 60-second time units.
Son of a bitch.
Zach Body. Device detonation will cease all light functions.
We're both gonna die.
Zach Body lives. Query. Self-Unit lives?
You're more alive than most of the people I know.
Query. Zach Body can survive if merged with Self-Unit. Device detonation threshold in 30-second time units. Zach Body will survive if merged with Self.
Alright, so apparently there's a bomb in my head, and I will die if I don't merge with this thing in 30 seconds. Interesting. Let me think about it for a minute. And there we have it. That was the final intentional death of the run. And all unique death animations in the game. Unless there's some that I don't know about, but there's no evidence of any other death animations out there anywhere that I could find. So to the best of my knowledge, that is every unique death animation in this game. Unfortunately... Sorry?
Is that time?
That is not time yet.
Okay.
But unfortunately this means I have to do this puzzle again. Hey, got it twice. Also, unfortunately, I have to watch this cutscene again, because there is no checkpoint after it where I could just continue.
You speak?
Self-Unit communicates, speaks with form. What is your form?
My form is human.
Yes, human. But what is form identification?
Oh, my name. I am Zach. Who are you?
Self-Unit Scientists Project.
That's a hell of a name. Can you see?
Alright, so there's not too much left of the run. I just have one last shooting sequence to get through, and that'll be it for the game.
Zach, you there?
Yeah, I read you.
You made it, eh? I knew you were the right man for the job.
Devlin, this weapon, it's unbelievable. It's sentient.
Really? It's too bad, then.
What?
But it's only going to be sentient for about another minute.
What are you talking about?
You got it backwards, Zach. That thing isn't the weapon. You are. Adios, pal.
Detect radio activation. Micronic thermonuclear device in
Plot twist is a little less impressive the second time around, I gotta say.
60-second time units.
Son of a bitch.
Zach Body. Device detonation will cease all light functions.
We're both gonna die.
Zach Body lives. Query. Self-Unit lives?
You're more alive than most of the people I know.
Query. Zach Body can survive if merged with Self-Unit. Device detonation threshold in 30-second time units. Zach Body will survive if merged with Self.
Okay, so this time I am going to merge with it. Because, you know, when there's a bomb in your head, you just go, you merge with the alien thing, and then you launch yourself into space out of a volcano, you know, as one does. Seems like a totally rational decision.
What is this? Death. Life. Where are you? With you. With me. Devlin. Must be terminated. How? We can do it. Together. Scanning for location of last Devlin communication.
Best laid plans, eh? Just what the hell are you now, Zack?
Shockwave, force and magnitude growing.
Defense systems up. Launch the swarm. Scramble all interceptors. Kill it.
Alright, so last shooting sequence of the game. I do have unlimited ammo, unlike some of the other sequences. Unfortunately, I do not have unlimited health, and more unfortunately than that, I have no indication of what my health is, so I really just get to do my best to try and kill everything before it can shoot me too much, and just kind of hope that I don't die.